Spirit and Soul, where Atlanta's service industry unpacks raw and provocative truths, share hilarious commentary about their unique industry experiences.
That's the true story.
Okay. Welcome to Spirit and Soul Podcast.
Ooh, let's get it.
Woo! A space where we share antidotes, lessons, recipes, and the personalities of those in the service industry here in Atlanta. So we all love a great cocktail, like so.
Cheers.
Mike made us these special cocktails we'll tell you about later.
Yeah.
But you love us too, and it's cool to like learn who we are as the bartenders and as industry leaders here in Atlanta. So that's what this is all about. So welcome
Thank
today.
you for having me. Thank you
We
for
have
having me.
Mike
Looking forward to this.
Alston.
Alston.
I
mean, I'll take Alston as long as it's not Austin. I'll
Alston.
take it.
Spell it for us.
Alston.
Okay, Alston.
Yep.
Okay, Mike Alston here. So I know Mike. We've worked together a couple of times, but we also just have a network of friends that we kind of end up seeing each other, hearing about. But I know Mike specifically as a bartender who works at the Braves Stadium, and he's been there for a long time. Like that's his ride or die. Like that's his
Bread and butter.
Bread and butter. Like that's his thing. So he's worked some other places too. But I'm interested to talk to him about that. And also, another reason I've invited him, which we were just talking about, is because he is he's a conversationalist. He's a natural conversationalist. He is very opinionated in a healthy way. And
I can be toxic at times too. Just being honest.
he likes to speak his mind, and I appreciate that. So that's why, I've invited him here today. So please don't hold back.
Oh, I definitely won't.
Okay.
Sometimes the truth is toxic.
Yeah, that's the reality of it. So I wanted to get into the Chop House. What is the Chop House, and what is its role to Atlanta and the Braves Stadium?
So let me tell you, the Chop House is it's the spot. If you go to Atlanta Braves games, if you've been to games, if you know anything about Atlanta, the Braves, you care about baseball, having a good time, and mixing the two, you have come to the Chop House. I've worked there for about 10, 11 years. I honestly have lost count. But it's been around forever, way back before even Turner Field. I forget what was the stadium called before then.
It was a stadium before Turner Field?
Yeah. It was I can't remember. This is before my time in Atlanta, but there was a stadium before Turner Field. Turner Field came into existence around the time of the Olympics, like around '96. Before that, they played at Fulton County. I can't remember what the name of it is. What it was.
We'll look it up.
But they played there. But anyway, the Chop House has always been there. It's a spot to be, and like I said, I've been there for about 11 years.
Okay. 11 years is a long time.
Yeah, it's a good job.
You know what I used to hear when I first got in the industry in Atlanta? I heard that the bartenders at the Chop House, well, one, you want a job at the Chop House.
You do.
You want a job at the Chop House. It's seasonal, so, you're only working during the baseball season for the Braves. But you're going to make so much money that you kind of don't need to work. You don't have to work outside of the baseball season because that's how much money you make. And I also heard that the turnover there, it just doesn't happen because people have been there for freaking ages. So it's really hard to get a job there. So it's like,
Yeah, I mean, in terms of like, I guess the whole bar world, and if you're gonna be pouring drinks for somebody, it's a pretty amazing, fun gig. You make a lot of money year after year. It's pretty reliable. I mean, I wouldn't get into specifics, but I'd say you make a pretty decent living. And it's fun. I mean, you're outside. If you're watching baseball, you're not making money, but you're at a baseball game.
Mm-hmm.
People are having fun. They coming in a cheerful, ready to spend some money mood, and it's just a party. I'll tell you now, I have friends that have One of my coworkers has been there maybe 20 years, and we still look forward to it every off season. We're waiting for baseball to come back, waiting because it's a fun gig.
Yeah.
And you can make annual money if you budget your money right. You can make annual money in a couple of seasons at the Chop House.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, it's true.
That is what I heard.
It's true.
That's
but I mean, you also got to manage your money good.
Well, that's an issue that we tend to have in this
industry.
industry.
When you make it fast, you tend to spend it fast too.
Yeah, that part.
So
a little bit more about the stadium, I guess. What really makes it? You kind of already said that. I have it. What makes it such a fan favorite, like for guests and for you guys? But you basically said that it's a fun, energetic place. You're there to celebrate the Braves, so you're going to spend money. And
I mean, there's a lot of things I can and would say on the podcast and wouldn't say. I'll just say that we have a good time there. The bartenders are turned up. The people are turned up. It's a party. That's like it's an experience, and I'll just say that. Like,
you know what's so funny? I've never actually gone to the Chop House.
I know. Well, I mean, I know that because I would have seen you there.
Yeah, I've never gone to the Chop House ever.
Well, the next homestand starts next Tuesday something. Okay. So feel free to show up.
I am. I will. It's baseball season, guys. So, what do you feel like are the biggest adjustments or challenges with the move from Turner Field to the Cobb County Stadium? Because, like he said earlier, before the Brave Stadium, it was something else, but then it was Brave Stadium, and now it's the Truist Park Stadium.
Yeah, formerly SunTrust.
Yeah.
Right.
So, is there like a difference? Did the vibe change? Like,
that's tricky. Yeah and no. I mean, it's the same demographic of people who come into baseball games, man. I mean, it's mostly like middle-aged to old-age white folks. You know, they come, they see, they leave. The thing with Truist, I will say, and the Battery in general, shout out to the Battery because it's one of my favorite spots to hang out at. You can usually catch me up there. But the move just gave us the Battery, and the Battery is like if you don't know what it is, it's a mixed-use development around the stadium, so people live there. You know, there's plenty of bars, restaurants, things to do. So I think the move just gave us that, and I mean, around Turner Field, you know, you were trying to just not get robbed after the game as you were walking back to your car. You know, and I mean, I'm being funny, but there were plenty of days I leave out of there with like $700, $800, $900 in my pocket, and I've got to walk like half a mile in my car by Turner Field. If you live in Atlanta, you know where Turner Field is at. So.
Yeah. So, is the Chop House open on non-game days ever?
No.
Okay.
And at some point they were talking about doing that when we first moved, but it never happened, and that's fine. I don't know if there's enough traffic up there to really warrant opening the Chop House all year round anyway. Because like I said, I hang out in the Battery a lot.
Yeah.
I don't really see the crowd for it. Not right now. Not
yeah,
right now.
year round. Yeah. I get that.
Maybe big events, but on a regular day, no. Then you got to worry about securing people from walking around the stadium. It's a lot.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna ask, and this can be in relation to. So hold on. Here's another thing. Right now, you're at Truist Park. Truist Park at the Brave Stadium. Where else are you? Where else can people find you and like get drinks from Mike Alston?
Well, so it's funny you should ask. I thought we'd get to talk about that later in a different segment of this, but right now, nowhere. I'm actually trying to phase my life out of bartending.
Okay.
And I have a whole pressure washing business I'm running and trying to really get deeply established in Atlanta. And but no, you can't find me anywhere. Come see me at the stadium or don't see me.
Oh.
Yeah, no. I'm trying to transition out of bartending. So.
Okay. What's the inspiration for that transition, and like how long have you been trying to transition out? I
think well, the reason for it, I mean,
and
it's
just be complete, like I
look at bartending like going to war. I mean, if you've bartended at some of the places I've been at, good and bad, you know, bartending is like going to war. And I mean, I've paid my dues. Like I've done 10 tours or whatever. Like I've paid my dues, and I'm ready to just do something else. You know, the bartending has been great to me. I think in a lot of ways, bartending probably really saved my life. Definitely made a way for my life in Atlanta. But bartending is hard. It's hard on you. You know, like
what part of it is hard for you specifically?
The hardest part is probably now, just now, and catering to people and answering, because I'm at a point in my life I really don't give a fuck about what you want anymore. I don't care how you want your margarita.
I can feel that.
Like, I'm just at a point I don't want to make anything for anybody anymore. And if you come up with a bad attitude, oh please, I don't have it in me anymore. And I know that's when it's time for me to like move on to something else because
you're turning into that grumpy bartender.
Yeah,
we know who those. Oh my god!
I don't got it in me no more. So
I've worked with some of those.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I used to look at them, and now I've become one of them.
Like, why are you so pissed off at the world?
Yeah, well, these people are dumb.
Yeah,
these people are dumb, man. And I mean, it's a 50-50. I would say I wouldn't consider myself a full blown grumpy bartender, not yet. If you come up and you're nice and polite, and you hit me with please and thank you, I'm going to bend over backwards and give you everything. If you don't like the drink, which if I make it, I can't see how you wouldn't like it. But if you don't like it, I'm going to fix it for you. I'm going to go above and beyond for you. It's my tolerance for rude people, entitled people, and that type of customer that I just don't have a tolerance for anymore. Like, I still actually enjoy bartending when I'm in a good environment. A good environment, and the demographic, the clientele is it's a reciprocal thing, and I think people don't realize that when they go out. Like, I'm not your servant. I'm not here to take your abuse and still smile and be polite about it. And I think that's more what I'm conveying. I still enjoy the art of bartending. I still enjoy talking to people. I'm just not a punching bag anymore. Yeah. And I can't tuck it in anymore. Yeah. So.
Yeah. You said well said.
Yeah, I can't anymore.
Well said. I think that's that's a large part to do with why I own my mobile bartending company now, because I do control the environment, and I don't feel like I enjoy serving. Like, I feel like I enjoy serving, but I need you to, like you said, it needs to be reciprocal. You need to respect me, and you need to know that, like, I'm a master of what I do, and so it's a pleasure for me to come serve you. So you need to understand, like, you need to pay me. You know what I mean? The pricing.
You need to respect me.
You need to respect me. You need to pay me. I'm not. Yeah, all of that. So I feel like where I wanted to retire, and I couldn't. You know how we like, I want to be done with this life, or I want to be done with this. Like, I'm tired of going to war, but there is this pull that it has on us often. I feel like that was the compromise for me, and it's been working out perfect. So I have no complaints, but I completely agree with that, 100%.
Yeah, well, it's just so it's not necessarily the industry itself, but it's just. I mean, the people, and I mean, again, I'm getting older. People that I'm serving are getting younger. And I mean, you have a lot of people that, aren't really experienced in going out or haven't reached that level yet. So, but again, I don't want to make it, it's not even all bad. Most of the people I encounter are nice, great people. I've met and made great lifetime friends through this. But I mean, those one or two bad apples, it's like, man, why did you even come here? Yeah. So, that's all though.
Yeah. No, I agree. Something I wanted to ask was, what kind of security or freedoms do you feel like you find with this career path? You've been at the Chop House for 11 years now, and you're like, I'm done with bartending, but you haven't quite quit the Chop House. And then why is that? Like, what's so different about that? Like, what's kept you there so long where you're like, I can't do nothing else, but I'll do that seasonally? Like, what is that?
Well, I mean, the answer is real simple. It's two things. I mean, one, it's money. Like, and I mean, I'm not, exactly. I'm not money obsessed. I'm at a point in my life I'm not really super materialistic, but I mean, I like the things that money affords me, because I like to do what I feel like doing when I want to do it. And so the money is great. Family, the people I work with there, I've worked with, from when I started. So everybody that I'm working with, and I work upstairs. There are 2 levels in the Chop House. I work upstairs. The people I work upstairs with, I work with since I've started. So, it's family. I look forward to seeing, there's the people I hang out with outside of work. So you're essentially paying me to go to work and hang out with my family and go make great money. It's fun. It's during the summer, so like in a lot of ways, I still get to be a kid again. We're hanging out in the summer, like making money and making great money for what we do. We sling drinks, so I think that that also plays a good part. And it's like I'm not really being asked to make anything complex there, so
Yeah.
it leaves a lot less wiggle room for people to complain because I mean you get a vodka soda like you either want it or you don't. Not muddling nothing. So
I get that.
that's why I've still stayed there. And I mean I feel like I'll always like even when I'm saying me trying to find a way out, I feel like I'll always do that. As long as they'll have me, I'll always do that.
Yeah.
It's fun. I mean, just hanging out, making
It's
money.
like, why not?
Why not? Like, why not go make...
When you can find a good little gig, why not? It's just it's easy money. And
yeah, it's a hustle. And I mean, we're grown. You know, we don't really have a situation where, like, management is really, you know, leaning over our shoulders. I mean, my manager is close to my age. Like, we're friends. So... I can function in a situation like that. You know, leave me alone. I'll do a good job, but I can't deal with any environment of being micromanaged or anything like that. I do not have that in me anymore.
Do you feel like some of the freedoms or the lifestyle has ever been limiting in any way for you?
Well, definitely, absolutely. There's no security. I mean. I think I pride myself for not, you know, stressing or worrying too much. But I mean, shit, I twist my ankle or something, I can't work.
Yeah.
It can't work. I don't get paid. Like I don't have like a, you know, 3 weeks paid vacation package. Yeah. Bartending usually doesn't come with that type of stuff.
No,
so,
not at all. We don't have insurance. We're getting paid $2.15 an hour. Still.
Yeah.
As Casey reminded me, I haven't worked in an establishment in like a couple years now. So I'm like, is that still the case? And everybody's like, it is. Well, that's still happening. Yeah. We're only making $2 and I just, that's crazy to me.
I do have insurance though, and I want to put that out there just because I got great insurance through what y'all would call Obamacare, but go on the healthcare marketplace, all my industry people, go in the beginning of the year, every year, they open it up. You definitely qualify. You can get great insurance. I have very good insurance. It's not like welfare insurance or nothing. I have Kaiser Permanente. Well,
oh yeah,
I actually have Ambetter now because they switched over. But I have very good insurance, and I mean, what I pay is next to nothing. So just because your job doesn't give you insurance, you're still responsible for your own health, and you can go get insurance. So don't make the excuse you can't get it or can't afford it. At the beginning of the year, the healthcare marketplace opens up. You can get insurance. So stop making excuses.
I even have it because up until this year, I was unemployed when I quit my corporate job. So I was like, you know, who knows what my insurance situation will look like by the end of the next open season for open enrollment.
Well, just take advantage, man. A lot of people don't know about that.
But yeah, that's how I have insurance too. So we're gonna transition into a segment that I'm especially excited about hard topics.
Ooh, I like hard topics.
Right. These are hard questions, controversial topics, and unpopular opinions. So I have a couple of viewpoints and that I want to talk about and a couple questions I have. But I also want to open it up for you to kind of like, if you have questions or if there's something that you want to talk about, like this is that opportunity.
Gotcha.
And I want it to be free form and just open. I just want us to go for it. So how about we refill a drink and then...
Let's do it.
How do you feel about that?
Let's do it.
Okay. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about what's in this drink as well, by the way.
Oh, God, let's do it.
All right.
Learning with certain stuff, man, you've got to get good people to do things like that you're not good at. You know, part of being like a leader...
A team. Delegating
is being able to delegate and delegate to good people and being able to like, you know, you find good people and then let them do their thing, and you can focus on being creative and doing other things. Like for me, I mean, I don't know. I hear you. What you're saying, it definitely resonates with me because I struggle with that. Like, you know, I'm trying to like start this whole pressure washing business, keep it going. I'm trying to like, you know, what I'm saying, be creative, keep something like in a media space as far as like advertising and promoting. But I'm also trying to go out and do these jobs myself, which it's a lot, man. It's a lot for one person to do.
Yeah. So do you go like to neighborhoods and like do you solicit that way? Like how do you?
I mean, so far a lot of it's been like word of mouth, Facebook. What do you call it? Facebook ads and like marketing online, and then it's been like word of mouth. I mean, I have like flyers I've made up in like these little Ziploc, like little Ziploc bags with like my card in it, and like I'll put like a decorative rock in it, and go like hit neighborhoods and throw them in people's driveways. So, but I mean, I don't know, man. I've seen like I got a couple of calls over there. I haven't really seen any big like.
Okay.
But trying to go at it however, but at the same time, I'm trying to also do this and grow in a way that I don't want to necessarily grow too fast. I know that probably makes no sense, but
No,
like
I know
don't want to start taking on too much because it's very easy to get overwhelmed, and then like that's just as bad as not being busy. If you're overwhelmed, that's just as bad as not being busy because you'll ruin your brand and your name or whatever because you can't. If you're overwhelmed, you can't be giving everybody quality.
Yeah.
And
yep, and quality is really important.
That's
your name, especially when you're out there and it's like this is your business. Like that's your name on the line.
That's what's gonna keep people calling you or not. That's what's gonna get people to refer you to their friends and whatever or not. So and I mean, and then I'm not even talking about things like Google reviews and not even getting into that space. Just word of mouth. Like if you're not giving people quality, they're not gonna call you.
There's just too many other options.
Too many people are people are overrun with options. So the fact that they called you, you gotta. And I believe that across the board, like in everything, you got to give people their money's worth. Even working, even I necessarily don't want to do it. I still believe when I show up, I do a good job because I mean, that's why my name is good in Atlanta. Like if I want a job, my name is good because when I show up, I'm gonna work. Even if I don't want to, I'm gonna I'm gonna give a good job.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
It's important.
Words of wisdom from Mike Alston.
Man, as far as bartending?
No, I'm like that. Literally, what you just said right there. Words of wisdom.
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky to navigate, but it's possible. You just gotta, stay the course.
True. So we're drinking on. First of all, Mike, what is this cocktail called?
I don't know if it has a formal name. It's just a typical whiskey.
Hey. It might, this is a good drink. It needs a name.
I don't want to pretend like we're reinventing the wheel here. That's all I'm saying. It's a banana whiskey sour. You guys can name it whatever you want to call it. It's a banana whiskey sour. It's balanced. I like yours a little better, to be honest. I think once we turn the booze up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I like it a little better, but it's a banana whiskey sour. It's good. It's drinkable.
Okay, what's in it?
I wish we had the bottle in here. We had that creme de banana stuff you bought, but the thing is I've never seen that bottle, but it tastes good.
Okay.
And we got some makers, and we got some lemon juice, and we got some simple syrup. Keep it basic. Whiskey sour is a simple drink. Oh, and did we put the egg white in the second one?
We did.
Yeah,
Not as much, though.
Yeah, we got a little bit of egg white. Just to froth it up a little bit.
And then a little edible floral for just,
just for the effect, just to keep it pretty.
Right, we like pretty drinks. It's so good, and it's simple.
Keep it simple.
You know what, though? I wouldn't be mad if I tasted more banana. Like, I want to kind of taste it a little bit more.
Well, yeah, I agree, but I'm also, so I know, I like banana and banana flavored things, so I purposely, when I made mine, I toned it down because I know I can do a lot. And first of all, making a cocktail, I want to present something balanced, so you're not tasting too much of anything. You're tasting a little bit of everything, and hopefully they come together and make an experience. But, I mean, honestly, there's never too much banana. I mean, you see why I said I wanted to make a banana whiskey. So there's never too much banana flavoring anything for me. But I tone it down a little bit because I know, I can get crazy with it. And you'll be drinking straight banana. You'll be drinking creme de banana.
Is this a smoothie?
Right, with a hint of whiskey. So.
But you know what, though? You smell it. And I think that's it.
That's part of it. That's part of the experience.
Yeah,
people don't know how to drink, man.
Yeah. It's it's not so much in the taste, but you can smell it. You can definitely smell it.
That's definitely something I learned working in a cocktail bar. You wanna with the cocktail, you wanna create an experience. You don't want to just drink and get drunk. You wanna taste it. You wanna smell it. There's the texture of it. All of those things, the presentation, all of that comes together to make a good cocktail. Not just
ice also matters too.
Of course.
And it's funny. I was talking to Casey. We brought up Casey a lot.
Shout out to Casey.
Shout out to Casey. He really is doing his thing and just educating as many, hospitality professionals and establishment owners and just all of us in as best way as he can in his unique way. And I feel like I definitely learned something from him. He said something that I didn't realize I needed to pay as much attention to until recently. So basically I made a cocktail and I made it just with regular ice, and it was really good. It was a hit, right? But then I was at a friend's house and they had circular balls of ice, and I made that same cocktail in a martini glass, which glass also impacts the taste of a drink too, by the way.
Definitely.
And, the glass martini glass is, shaped like this upside down V with this, a couple of these circular ice cubes in there. Same cocktail. Oh my gosh, it tasted drastically different. It gave me brunch vibes. The drink before gave me like, it's summertime, I'm outside and I'm sipping. But that cocktail, the second time I did it, tasted like I was at brunch and I was in a cute like sundress outfit. Like, it gave me a whole different vibe. So I will say that, the glass, the ice, all that matters. So when you're out drinking, like, can I get it with no ice? Can I get it in I don't want the martini glass. No, the cocktail is made that way for a reason.
For a reason. And I'll tell you what, too, just touching on that, another thing that really matters that I feel like is getting lost in the whole, like, bartending profession hustle that it's become. Mm-hmm. And again, shout out to KC. By the way, we should have Angel's Envy for this whole podcast. I don't know why. I'm gonna talk to KC about why there's not no bottles around Angel's Envy laying around.
If I ask him, he'll just get it.
He's supposed to just flood the world with Angel's Envy. Anyway, but
listen
shout out
to episode 2.
But shout out to him because this is something else. He definitely. I wouldn't say he taught me, but he reinforced at this point in my bar career and reminded me of the relevancy of why you shake and how you shake. And I see a lot of people now, when I go out, I'm just watching, and I watch a lot of people with this little raggedy...
lazy shake. I be lazy shaking.
You're not, but this is the thing. You're not shaking because it looks cool to shake. People care about the way their shake looks, but the coolest shakes by professionals, there's a reason why they're shaking the way they're shaking, because it helps the ice. I don't know if it's infused or whatever the terminology is,
to break it down, and
it helps equally
balance, disintegrate that ice in all parts of that cocktail.
It matters. I mean, you should be shaking for like a good duration, just like when you stirring like a mixed cocktail. I watch a lot of younger bartenders now. Don't muddle your oranges, by the way. I don't care what they tell you in bartending school, but we'll talk about that later. But I see a lot of young bartenders, when they go to stir like an old fashioned, you get one of these. And I mean, I get it because I didn't know any better at the time. Mm-hmm. You get one of these quick little things, shit splashing everywhere. I mean, I'm just watching like...
There's definitely a rhythm to that.
There's a rhythm, and there's a reason why you're doing it. You're doing it because you're trying to help the ice dissolve within the drink and make the drink a balanced drink versus just being boozy. Mm-hmm. But you see a lot of people, like I said, they'll give it a quick shit splashing everywhere. Nothing got mixed up. The ice did not dissolve in the drink. And then they pour it over and they feel like they did something good. And then you're dealing with like an, mostly unknowledgeable drinker.
Yeah. Who
doesn't know the difference. So they're drinking an overly boozy, not balanced cocktail when if you really just took your time, stirred it, learned how to stir.
Yeah.
And stirred it, I would say if you're stirring, for me, if I'm stirring like an old fashioned, I'm stirring for probably like 11 seconds at least. Mm-hmm. But you'll create more balance. It matters. You'll create more balanced, even cocktails, and then you'll find your customers will appreciate it because they'll learn. But also, when you come across that one whiskey aficionado who's trying to critique your old fashioned because they've had them everywhere and they know everything there is to know about old fashions, except they can't make one themselves, you can make a great balanced one, and they won't have anything to say because you perfected it. Take your time. Start that drink.
Yep. Listen, words of wisdom from Mike Alston.
Stir that drink.
Stir that drink.
Stir that drink, man.
You know what I just thought about? It might be too much. A banana old fashioned. Is there a way to do that?
Yeah. I mean, You're good. Oh no, because I pulled something. I don't hear me.
You're good. You know what I did get?
I don't hear me anymore.
You don't?
No.
Oh, look up here. Look in the jack that's right there.
There we go. Okay, I hear me now.
Okay. I got a banana whiskey because at first I couldn't find that creamed banana, so I got a banana whiskey.
What's a banana whiskey?
We can also experiment with.
What's a banana whiskey?
Good question.
I'm about to learn what a banana whiskey is. I've never seen that. There is a bar. I'm going so blank right now, but they have a banana old fashioned on their menu. What is the name of this place? Why am I going so blank? And it's somewhere I don't really go to often.
This is the most ratchet part of the podcast. But I had of this in here.
What?
But I also brought this out too. I should have
So,
brought pictures too.
There's a bar. It's
This
like
is what we're.
Whoa. What in the hell?
Yeah.
I've never heard. We're going to drink this just because I've never heard of this. What the hell is
And
it?
I didn't get a full bottle because I was like,
Howling Head. Wow, it has a monkey on this. This is interesting.
Yeah. Howler Head, 80 proof, banana flavored bourbon whiskey. So.
Wowzers.
We'll try that too.
Yeah. There's a bar. It's a chain. I can't think of the name of it. There's one by Paces Ferry. Oh goodness! It's like a McCrae's kind of place. I can't.
Paces Ferry.
Yeah.
Paces Ferry, as in.
By Publix, by Paces Ferry over there.
Vining's Paces
yes,
Ferry.
Yes.
Publix Paces Ferry. There's a restaurant that's like
There's a
McCrae's
bar.
over there.
It's a bar. Yeah, it's a little.
Mellow Mushroom is over there.
It's over in the same area, but it's a tavern.
It's across the street.
It's on the right hand side. Same side of the street.
Same side of the street, just a little further up.
Yes.
I've never
it's
gone
gonna
in there, but I know
it's
you're
gonna
talking
come
about.
In a sec. But anyway, they have a banana old fashioned on their menu. Is what I'm trying to say.
Ooh.
And I've made them before playing around at Foxtrot.
Okay.
Using creme de banana. Just
Oh, so you just put that in?
Well, either I cut the simple, or I would use in half and use half simple, half banana.
Okay.
Or if I was making it for me, I just wouldn't use simple. I would use the banana.
I'm gonna try that now that I have this stuff because this is some good stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I feel like I got a good because I didn't want to just get the most basic cheap brand. I was like, let me find something good.
I've never had that. That's good.
This was
though.
only $15.
Nice.
That's not even that bad.
You know what? Too, you also another little twist. If you see, banana flavored things aren't for everybody, but if you like them, another little twist too. You can throw that in a daiquiri.
Yeah.
Get you a nice good rum.
A little tiki drink.
Yeah. Yeah. Goes a long way. Some I drink.
Okay. Enough about bananas. Let's get back to our hard questions. Controversial.
Marlowe's Tavern.
There's a Marlowe's Tavern over
There's
there?
a Marlowe's Tavern over there, and that's what I was talking about. I knew it was going to come to me. Sorry. We'll
Like in Vinings. Like in Vinings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But they've got a banana.
Okay. I gotta check them out.
I feel like mine's is better.
Or I can just. I agree. So we can just make yours.
Yeah.
We'll just make that the third drink today. Easy.
This is getting boozy.
Okay. On to hard questions, controversial topics, and unpopular opinions. So, listen to this, guys. This is just me, like, ranting and working through my thoughts. So, let me know what you think about this. When I was in my early 20s, okay, for the record, this is going to be, like, brutally honest. Guys, I'm not...
Man, will you come on with it?
I know.
Stop with the disclaimers and come on with this. It's about to get interesting.
When I was in my early 20s, I cringed when I saw bartenders well over their 40s, gray hair, just still slinging drinks. I would think, God, I hope that will never be me. Dead ass. I was scared I was going to be that person. Back then, I had no respect for career bartenders. I thought that was just a fancy way of saying, I'm stuck. I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do with my life, so I'm sticking with this. Or maybe it was an addiction to just the fast cash, the hustle, and the party lifestyle. But now, which a lot of us can fall accustomed to. But now I can admit that was in large part due to my environment at that time and my community. All of my peers in the industry, along with myself, were either supporting ourselves through college, transitioning in life, or needing supplemental income in addition to another job. I didn't respect the craft of bartending or the legitimacy of a hospitality professional. It personally took me some time to recognize that this was a space full of creatives and entrepreneurs. And all that freedom and flexibility it permitted were actually opportunities. So now I'm one of those people. I'm in my 30s, and you better believe that I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, and I actually love it here, you know? But I know I'm not the only person who thought like that or who still thinks like that. And also, a confessional, even worse, what's even more insane is that I used to get so offended when guests questioned what else I did outside of bartending, as if it wasn't good enough. And I know that's a hot mess because I feel like I just contradicted myself. But it was just like, I didn't know what side I wanted to be on. And I was just like quick to be like, I don't know, ready to fire up at any point, I guess. So my question is, or the topic I want to talk about is, what are those things that are maybe unintentional or intentional that you feel like might devalue or chip away at our industry and affects the legitimacy in comparison to other professional career paths. And what do you think that is?
Whew.
I know that was a lot.
That was a lot.
I know.
That was a lot.
So,
that was a lot.
Okay.
But let me try to figure out how to answer this in a very non-long-winded way.
You can be long-winded. I don't care.
Well, I don't want to because
Okay,
I want to make sure I get to the point of what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah, we are only alive on this earth for this allotted whatever 50, 60, 70, maybe 80 if you have a good run. We only have a certain amount of allotted time here. This time, I don't know what's coming next, whatever. But for this time, you only got a certain amount of time that you know of, definitively, undefinitively. So there's not really any time to form judgments or opinions about what somebody else does for a living, because you'll be wrong, and you'll probably when you do that to me, you already show me you're way off base in life, because bartending bartending definitely saved my life. Like prior to bartending, I'll tell you quickly, like I was involved in a whole bunch of like crazy shit when I was young, like credit card scams, fraud, like way back before swiping was a thing. I was swiping. This is true. That's what I was doing in my 20s. And then I got to a point when I didn't want to do that no more. And I literally took maybe close to the last $500 I had to my name at one point and went to bartending school. I knew nothing about the industry.
Really? I never knew that.
Totally green. Didn't know anything about bar. I just knew that I was trying to find something else to do. And I knew at this time I had dated a girl a while back that was a bartender. And I knew she was making good money. But again, you got to think, this is way back when I knew nothing about the industry, the possibilities, anything. I just knew I was tired of doing what I was doing. I knew I didn't want to go do another 9-to-5 office job. I hated those. I hated the people I work with. They hated themselves. So I took my last $500 and I went to bartending school. Shout out to New York. I think it was called New York Bartending School or something way back when. It was a week course and I missed a day of that. Fast forward, nobody wants to ever hire you out of bartending school. And I mean, I know that
it's a joke.
It's a joke.
It's a joke.
But before you're in the industry, you don't know that that's a joke. So and particularly in New York, where it's super competitive, it's super if you don't know anybody. But again, I was green. I didn't know any of this. So I went to bartending school, came out, nobody wanted to hire me. I got my first.
Especially because you were I just went to bartending school, and then it's at least if you go, just don't say you went.
Yeah, but you don't. But before it's like being in a mob. Like before you're in, you don't know that. You don't. You know what I'm saying? You don't know. You're green. I don't know. So, nobody wanted to hire me, and I ended up getting my first job when I came back to Atlanta, because I had moved back and forth. So when I came back to Atlanta again, my best friend at the time, well, not at the time, it was my childhood best friend. He was dating this girl who was a manager of a club, and that's how I got my first job. But one, people don't, say don't go to bartending school. You should definitely go. Or at least, I don't know, it worked for me because it gave me comfortability, handling bottles. It gave me a small intro into the world, which made me comfortable to at least go look for a job.
Yeah.
But anyway, not to get off track, all I'm saying is that, bartending, saved my life. So I would never look down on anything like that. It gave me a legal way to make a good amount of money, So anybody that would say anything against that already, I'm not really paying attention to your opinion, because you probably have a job that you don't like, and I probably make or made more money than you. So,
that part. And
my mother's a registered nurse, right? She was retired now, but there were plenty of years before she retired. I'm pretty sure I made more money than her bartending.
We make a lot more money than a lot of people.
Yeah, and I mean,
we just spend it way faster.
Yeah, and I mean, it ain't for everybody to even know.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's really not. But so just in terms of I never really considered whether it was a viable. No job is really respectable to me, man. Some of the career paths people choose aren't really respectable. I could get deep, but I'm just saying there's not really. No job is more respectable than the others. I mean, if you're not robbing people and stealing from people, you're paying your bills, you just passing time on this planet.
Yeah.
So if you care about accolades and all that, go to corporate America. If you care about freedom and being able to do what you want, then come to death row. I'm just playing. But I mean, seriously, if being free and being able to do whatever you want to do is something that matters to you, then this is Friday, the day after tomorrow, I'm going to Panama City. I won't be back till Tuesday. You tell me a corporate job where you can just decide you're going to take off for the next 4 or 5 days without letting them know like a week, 3 weeks in advance and getting approval. You can't. So if you care about that and you care about your accolades, hey, have your job. Maybe they'll promote you.
Mm-hmm.
I like choosing, to do what I want to do. I mean, there's not like it comes with negatives too because it comes with no security, but we don't really have security anyway because when a corporation gets mad at you, or not mad at you, but when you become obsolete to them or unusable, they just get rid of you anyway. So all you really have is the illusion of security anyway. So you're choosing to make less money, more rules, more restrictive life for the illusion of security because you're not really more secure.
You're getting on a topic that I already am going to talk
Yeah,
about, but you still did not answer the question, Mike.
Well, okay, so what?
The question was, what are those things that maybe are unintentional or maybe intentional that devalue or chip away at our industry and its legitimacy in comparison to other professions or career paths?
Well, I think that it comes with the lifestyle. A lot of us, you make fast money, and up until more recently times, it's been majority of cash. You make fast cash, you make fast money. So a lot of us probably haven't been focused on things like having your credit together until later in life. We got to go where the money's at. So a lot of times we probably change jobs quicker than traditional 9-to-5ers do. But again, I don't know that devalues it. I mean, devalues it to who?
To other people that might think how I thought back then.
But so it's tricky for me to answer because I don't know if I ever cared about what anybody else thought. Like it doesn't, it's hard for me to say it's devalued because it's not devalued to me. I don't care what you think.
It's not okay, but okay. I have a couple examples.
It's more devalued because you're not in it, so you don't
understand.
You don't understand.
Yeah.
You're looking from the outside in, so your opinion is.
This is why I appreciate your.
Yeah,
opinion.
Listen. What do I care about what somebody that sits in the cubicle all day thinks about what I do for a living? It's not devalued to me. Like your opinion doesn't devalue what I'm doing. Like you just don't know.
Nobody put you on.
Yeah.
Nobody put you on to what we really do and how beneficial.
A lot of people I grew up with, that I've connected with or stay in touch with through like Facebook and things like that. These people think I'm living an amazing life while they're still, they're doing it like 9-to-5 hoping to retire. So I don't know that it's devalued. You got these people now, particularly after COVID, you got a lot of these people, racing trying to get in. And that's why there's no more craft left, but that's a whole other chapter.
There's no craft left? What do you mean?
Well, there aren't people that really, I feel like, value the craft of bartending anymore because you're getting all these people that are just coming to do it because it's a quick way to make money. So the craft part of it is being lost now because you just have people that are just.
I felt like that's what I was in when I entered it. Like it was lost then.
Yeah.
Or that's also another subject. Was it lost then, or is just the market here in Atlanta like that?
This is Atlanta though. Like where if it's not number one, we gotta be number 2 or 3. And as far as major cities in America right now, if it's not, New York and LA maybe.
Yeah.
But as far as major cities, this got to be in the top 3, 4. So I don't think it's lost here. I just think, because of different things that happen in the world and evolution, people have moved on. The older bartenders with that actually had that bar etiquette and that cared have kind of transitioned out or moved on or died or became bar liquor reps or whatever happens next for people. And after COVID, we got a whole bunch of people that are just filling spots that never learned. They have nobody teaching them, so it's a trickle down effect.
Well, I have some things. I answered my own question to see if maybe you could agree with them or if you disagreed with them. So some things that maybe devalue or chip away at what we do, and I feel like it's our hourly rate. We make $2.15 an hour. Why would you respect someone who makes that? Why would you respect someone who's solely working just to make tips? I'm looking at this from their perspective, not mine. You know what I mean? You make tips. So it's and then you got people who just feel like, you work for me. Calm the fuck down. No, you know what I'm saying? They love this servant. Like you said earlier, I'm not your servant, but they think that. Because you're relying, you're literally paying your bills on that tip that they may or may not give. So I think our hourly rate affects that. And I think that if we were in New York, or if we were in LA, at least we would have a decent hourly rate in addition to our tips to help legitimize what we do, and at least the people that are hiring us feel like we're that much more valuable. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're here, it's just like.
So, listen, let me say this, man. I hope y'all hear me out there. No self-respecting bartender ever worked for hourly wage. And hear me again. Nobody that I want to go to war with
in Atlanta.
When I'm in a bar and we like 4 or 5 deep, and that means like 4 or 5 people in the line. For y'all people that don't know what that means.
Like 4 or 5 deep, meaning like you got
we like 4 or 5, 6,
and there's like 3 people behind them.
When we like 4 or 5, 6, 10 people deep, I don't want to work next to somebody that's there for hourly wage. I want to work next to somebody that's there to get money.
But that's the environment here in Atlanta.
But I mean, that's across the board with bartending, though. Like,
you think so?
Absolutely. Like, I hear people, I know friends that went to Vegas and they're making, 25, 30. I'm not working for hourly wage because most places I've worked, and I've worked a long time in a lot of places, I'm making more than $25 an hour. So that hourly that they're allotting me, that doesn't mean anything to me because most times I don't even know what I'm getting. Most of the places I've worked, I don't even know I don't know what the house is paying me. I'm not there for that. I'm there locked in the mentality I'm here to get money. So whether it's $2.13 or $7 or $10, that makes me no difference because if I'm on my job and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, I'm making way more than that. Shit, there's plenty of places I done made like $50, $75 an hour. On paper or what they were giving me might have been $2.13, but I'm not there for that. I ain't never paid attention to that because I'm not working for that.
Yeah.
Like, so that never enters my mind. Like, please enjoy your $20-hour job. I make more money than that.
Yeah. That's a good mindset to
like
have.
You enjoy that. Like, I make more than that. So anybody, any outsider looking in, like, okay, you can laugh that I'm making $2.13 an hour, but I'm not really making $2.13 an hour. I'm not there for what they're giving me. I'm there to get this money.
Something else I have listed as to why I feel like maybe it's not as valued or respected is it doesn't require a degree. There's a lot of things that don't require a degree, but it's just like when I really try to get into the minds of why somebody would say, all you do is this. You know what I mean? Like, you should be doing more. Like, I think about, well, why do you feel that way?
See, and I'm
people don't respect service. That's another thing. They don't see how. I'm one of those people. I feel like I'm a servant leader. I like to lead by serving. You know what I mean? And that's also the way I love too. So it's like I like to love by serving, and that's why I feel like this is the perfect space for me. But a lot of people don't see that, and it's just like serving, servant. And it's like, why don't you respect what I do? But I think, I don't know.
Well, so again, this is a multi-level thing. So I look at like myself and like what my contribution to the industry and I guess Atlanta, as a whole and maybe the world as a whole is I'm a connector. And I know that. Like, it took me a long time to realize about myself. I'm a connector. I bridge gaps between people. And I connect people with people. And also, like, so a lot of times, I have amazing conversations with people I would never talk to. And I feel like sometimes I walk away learning something. Sometimes I walk away knowing I taught them something. Sometimes we teach each other something. So I don't think that, like, anybody forming, like, an opinion or a degree doesn't make anything. I mean, maybe you validate people validate themselves or they validate their importance or their accomplishments by a degree, but then a good majority, and I mean statistics show this, a good majority of people will have debt for that degree until they die.
I'm one of them. Okay, I'm not claiming that actually.
And think about what I'm saying. They will have debt until they die.
Yeah.
For a degree that never really realizes its full financial value.
Yeah.
It just made you feel important. I mean, and again, I'm not knocking anybody that takes that path.
Right.
That's the path that you want to take. Just, I think I understood earlier in quicker in my life that, like, that doesn't mean success. Success is when you get up and you can look in the mirror and you happy at what you see. That's success. When you're not stressed out, because you paying fucking from tuition from 20 years ago, and you now doing now you done left corporate America, and now you bartending because you done fucking woke up and trying to pay off your student loans from 20 years ago. So I never needed that kind of validation. I never understood people that did, and I never got people that felt it was their right to give that validation. You going to whatever school you want to doesn't give you a right to validate anything, because chances are I'm probably happier than you. Mm-hmm. I feel pretty happy, and I know I'm getting out here. I'm maximizing the time I'm alive. Like days when you're in your cubicle, I'm on the beach, and I mean, maybe you've got more material things. I don't even want material things. And neither one of us have any real stability at all. It's all an illusion for you and for me. It's just your job is just as unstable as mine. Because when they decide they're gonna merge and get rid of your ass, you out of here. All 20 years and all the plaques they gave you and all that, it doesn't matter. Just like my job, when they decide they closing, goodbye. When they decide they don't need you no more, goodbye. But it works the same way across industries. So no one is better than the other. It's all about what fulfills you and what you can do and feel at peace with yourself about doing. Or for me, like the lesser of the evil, because I don't want to work. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like I'm supposed to work at all. But I'm not here to work. I'm not here to do anything. I'm here to experience this thing. I'm not here to work. So,
or do things that don't feel like work because you're just that good at it, and it doesn't exhaust you. It doesn't.
It should fill you. Yeah. Whatever you do should fill you.
It feeds you and full. Yes, and to me, sometimes I also think about that element of I'm also supposed to feed into people too. I'm supposed to give in some way, and so I feel like that is that sometimes when I'm serving in this way. It's like I'm giving you something you can't find anywhere else. You know what I mean? Like I'm giving to you in this form of service. So yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, definitely. That's a big part of it. Aside from the money and I gotta pay bills, that's a big part of why I still keep doing them. Because I know, I'm not arrogant. I'm not full of myself. I have a whole bunch of insecurities I don't discuss with people, but I'm very aware of who I am too. And I know, when I'm working, when I'm talking to people, man, I'm out here breaking down barriers, knocking down walls. Like a lot of white people I be talking to, and not just singling them out, because I talk to a lot of black people too that come from a different, but a lot of times, man, I know you ain't never talked to nobody like me because I can relate. You come in with these super corporate motherfuckers, I can talk that talk. I know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. And I know a lot of them have never, when I'm talking, I know you ain't never talked to a young black male who's intelligent but still fucking cool and relevant. But I know how to talk to you.
That's us.
Yeah, and I know I'm just putting it out there because I know I'm aware when it's happening. I know you ain't never talked to nobody like me before. But the same thing when I talk to super people that look like me, and I feel like you ain't really get exposed enough yet too. I can also talk to you and connect with you, and I don't want to say bring you into a light because I'm not enlightening you, but I can also introduce a different idea or thought process to you that you probably never considered. And that
element I love a lot.
That's one of the things I still love about doing this job.
That is one of the main reasons I still do this job. I love communicating with people. I love sharing something, but I also love something that I don't know either.
Yeah.
What is that? Either it's a perspective that I hadn't considered. It's a way of life. It's I've never lived in that city. What is it like? I just feel like I'm constantly learning something from people. Yeah, that's a good point.
That's why we're here.
Yep. You answered that question very well.
Right? That's why we're here.
That's a wrap for part 1 of this episode. Here's what you can expect for next time on Spirit and Soul.
Think about all the things that imprint on you, all the things that happen to you that you can't really explain to nobody else, but they're significant. Mm-hmm. And it happens a lot. These are all things this is part of your journey spiritually in its existence. And you're supposed to learn and collide with all these things, and hopefully you ascend and learn spiritually and grow.